Here's the intro.
Well, that was quite a break. Now, it's time to lay back and take a break. Camera. Hello, everyone. I guess I'm back to reviewing, and guess I'm back to being on camera. I'm sorry. This is fine and all, but it's been a while since I've reviewed. I mean, I don't know what to review. I don't really have anything planned.
Banjo-Kazooie, a classic N64 game for N64. This N64 game for the N64 is quite a fondly looked at N64 game to play on your N64.
Maybe I'll review this N64 game. But for which system? Now the real challenge of the game will be using the N64 controller. What the hell is Nintendo thinking with this? It's objectively not very good.
Wrong game there, Sparks. Oh, come on, you're killing me here, YouTube. It's a charming little intro here for a N64 game from 1998. Get ready for Banjo-Kazooie. Yes, I got this game used, so there's some used profiles here. Whose precious memory should I erase? I guess this one. I kind of feel like I don't need to explain the story, considering a lot of people have reviewed this game before. But since this is just another review, I guess I'll just go ahead and repeat that anyway. This witch wants to be beautiful, and kidnapping a female bear is gonna make her pretty, so, you know, take that for what you will. So, as Banjo sleeps in his house, his little sister gets kidnapped. Well, you know, bears are pretty heavy sleepers, so, you know. So finally, after that really long cutscene, it's time to begin the adventure. We'll go... Alright, I get that Banjo needs to know what's going on, but come on now, this needs to be more skippable. You can speed it up, but, you know. Though I am pretty glad this is the noise we get whenever we're reading the text, because this is pretty incredible. But thank the Lord there's an option to skip the tutorial, because say someone comes back to this game, they don't want to redo the tutorial again if they start a new game, you know, unless they're stupid and they forgot everything. Not really sure how I feel about everything having eyes and being alive. It's a bit creepy. This is a pretty nice first level. It gives you all the basics of what you need to know. I mean, technically it is a training level, but whether you do tutorials or not, it's a nice little area to practice on. Screw Tootie, I'm just gonna go on home. You'll actually find some pretty interesting things in here, like the fact that there's a picture of bottles, despite the fact that in the beginning he doesn't seem to know you that well, and I don't know. But enough of all that, let's head into Peach's castle, Grunty's lair. Before that though, we get a charming little cutscene that really makes it look like Banjo's gonna be way too late, but I guess they just stay there for a really long time with their thumbs up their asses. Okay, at this point it really starts to feel like Mario 64, except a lot better. Although instead of just being able to simply go into a level, you actually have to go and fill in a puzzle piece here, which is where the jiggies come in. The iconic first level of the game, the first official level. You know what, there's a lot of iconic things in this game. What, did you think we were done learning all the moves? Well, prepare for more, because almost every single level, if not every single level, has a new move for Banjo and Kazooie. The musical notes kind of serve as like the gems in Spyro or something like that, because Collectathon. And then you have these very quiet things, known as the Jinjos. There's about 5 in each level of different colors, and they do serve a purpose later on. This is kind of like the next step from Spiral Mountain, where you learn some of the basics of what's going to be in the levels. This is a pretty good level to start out on in terms of actual levels, because it's not too big for newcomers. The next level, on the other hand, it can be a little more complicated for newcomers. I mean, don't get me wrong on this. This is a pretty decently sized level, not too big. It's just that there's some areas where it feels like things are a little too hidden. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just stupid, because I have played through this a couple times before, but I forgot where all to go to get everything. I just started noticing some problems with collectathons after playing through this level. You have to look for every single little collectible if you want to try and complete this game, at least fully complete it. And when a lot of the areas look kind of samey, you're going to be going in circles a lot. Now again, this level is far from being the worst of a collectathon problem, it's just I started noticing it a little more in this level. Basically, when it comes to cat games, you really gotta have patience and really explore the level. Also, you really gotta be sure to play this all the way through if you want to complete everything, because if you try to take a break and then come back to it and forget where you were at, games like this, like Grunty's Lair, you can get lost pretty easily. Now, Banjo-Kazooie is far from being the worst of it, I'm just saying that it can be a problem. Now that that's out of the way, allow me to say the reason why I prefer the Xbox version over this version. Well, one thing is the controls. Well, more so the controller. The controls themselves are actually pretty decent, it's just the controller, but that's the problem with a lot of N64 games. You remember those little musical notes, you know, the collectathon main collectible that isn't the Jiggies? Well, what if you just lost them all from losing one life? Not all your lives, and there's no checkpoint, just one life, and you lose all those musical notes you got within that level. Well, that's pretty much the case with the original Banjo-Kazooie on N64. So just imagine spending all this time trying to get everything, and then suddenly you die, and it's like, oh, well, you gotta get them all again if you want to have them all collected. Luckily, things like your Jiggy save, but trying to get all those musical notes again after hunting them down for a really long time and having to do all these events again if they reset, it's a little discouraging. Okay, so to clarify, I mean if an event somehow gets in the way of you trying to get the musical notes. Luckily though, I didn't have to worry about that because I was actually doing pretty good. Until I got to this one challenge. This is where I should probably finally bring up Mumbo Jumbo. If you've been finding these silver skulls, another collectible for the collectathon, then you can transform into another character through Mumbo Jumbo. Once you transform, you can do certain challenges to get certain Jiggies. Heh, dark humor. Now this upcoming challenge with this transformation, it's not the hardest, let me clarify that, but it definitely set me over the edge whenever I was trying to beat it. Good ol' Mr. Vile. The first couple of parts aren't too bad, you just gotta eat more whatever the heck these things are than him within a certain time limit. The second part, do the same thing, just make sure not to eat the other stuff that comes out of the ground. And then there's the third part, which seems simple enough, you just gotta eat whatever's at the top of the screen at the time, but it'll randomly change as you're eating something, and it'll count it against you, and for some reason, things got a lot harder.
Now this is the way I prefer to play it. I was actually starting it up on the Xbox One, but it's this version, it's the 360 version. I'm not saying the N64 version is bad, it's just better on Xbox in my opinion. I mean, the only reason to really get the N64 version anymore is because, you know, if the Xbox server shut down one day and you really want to play the game but you can't download it on there, you know, because video game preservation sucks these days. Or if you just wanted to collect this version. I mean, it's up to you. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Go ahead and hit the likes and subscribes if you want to see more of these. And I again, thanks for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a toolbox to get to, so I can collect all the nuts and bolts for it and get the jiggy. Nuts and bolts may happen in the future, but we'll have to see.